Hey awesome motion graphic designers out there. Hi, Sachin Mishram here, and in today's tutorial we will see character rigging and walk cycles. Probably the most sought skill for motion designers and animators. Now, before we get started, today I want to remind you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share. My goal is to teach you the most efficient way to rig and animate your character. So we keep up a super clean workflow and every stage can easily be digested. The human form or walk is universally recognizable to us. If you do something a bit exaggerated or extra, you can add personality to the character and the viewer still can tell what it is. Let's jump into After Effects and we will create composition. Composition settings here. We will make sure it says walk cycle 1920 by 1080, 0.5 frames a second, and we will change the duration to 1 second and 15 frames. So here, every 5 frames we will create a little marker. These key markers are going to be the names of the poses. So if we drag these out from here, there is one here, and then hold shift and double click on this here, and we will call this contact. Just 4 main poses for a walk cycle. The next one, hold and shift and double click down, click OK. The next one is pass, and the legs pass each other. And the final one is up. So if we just repeat this every 5 frames for the next leg, so we will have the left leg contact, down, pass and up, and the right leg the same. The final frame is exactly the same as the first frame. So contact again. Just so it all links up. Click OK. We should have contact, down, pass, up and contact again, which is off the screen. Let's first add a background to our composition. Lock the layer so that it didn't get selected accidentally. We will now create a simple and easy character using shape layers. Just simple ellipse for head first. Select a skin color for it. Now create another ellipse for body. To edit the body, select the path and then select pen tool to edit it as per your need. We can also make adjustment to size of the head. Scale it up a little bit. Now these are shapes. And just rename these just to head and the body there. Also move this body and head a little up for the legs. Next, we will create a ruler so we know where the floor is. We will go View and we will take Snap to Guides off. Then View again and show Rulers. Ctrl R is a shortcut. Then click and drag in the middle of these rulers here. And then just drag down straight away. And just put it where we want the fill. So around about here, and we will let go. Next, we will create a leg. So we will select the pen tool here. Make sure nothing is selected. And then click and drag. So you have got these bezier handles and hold shift. So it locks it in vertical position around here. And then click and drag here. Holding shift again. Now we can move this, which will be his leg in a moment. Make sure fill has a straight through it by holding Alt and just cycling through this by clicking and holding Alt. And then the stroke, we want this as a front leg color, the same color as his pants. I would like to get a rounded corner on here. So if you hold this, which will rename by pressing enter, and we'll call it leg front, and then search for cap, and this line cap should pop up. Once you have selected and change it from bird cap to round cap, and there we are. Then search path, with that is still selected, and we can press the keyframe. So we can get back to this later on by pressing U on the keyboard. So it shows all of the active keyframes. We will move this leg here. You can change the thickness of the leg with the stroke up here. I will probably do the leg as 60. Press enter. And if we select the pan behind tool and move the anchor point of the leg, connect that to the hip and then with the head. Just as good practice, usually put this on the neck. Just show if we rotate it, it's rotating on that point. Now we want to pan this to the body. All of the limbs go back to the body. The hand would be connected to the arm and the arm connected to the body. Select the head and the leg, and if your parent tool isn't showing, right click, column, and then show the parent and link there. And then grab the pick tool here and put them to the body. It should say body on these layers. If we change the position of the body, contact keyframe and move to down. Make sure we have our selection tool, and then we will move this down while holding shift around here, and then we will move on to up and move this just a bit above there while holding shift. So it just off the floor area there. So we have got this kind of movement. And contact can be this keyframe again. Select all of these keyframes, copy them and paste them here on the same position. And so bounces up, goes down, bounces up again. On the up ones, maybe this up keyframe, you can right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. So there's more personality to the walk, some bounce going on. Now let's get started with the main poses of the walk cycle. Select our front leg, search for path, and we have this keyframe. If you select path and then hold shift and click the bottom leg, and this first leg here will move the contact on the floor to the front of the body here. Make sure all that's keyframe and go to the next one, down. This is where the leg starts to bend a bit. Just take your time and just get these poses correct. So have this, and then the legs will pass each other. So somewhere in the middle like this, still touching the floor, and then up. The leg will be going back here, and then contact. There's that, and then it just needs to get back around to the start again. The down pose, we will just bend it a bit here and then pass Both the legs will be passing. This one will be up this time. Something like this. And then up. The leg will now be just about to hit the ground. Something like this. And then the final frame, as always, we will copy the first keyframe and paste it here. There we are. It looks cool. A quick tip. Instead of creating another leg, we can just copy this one. Ctrl D, and then we will rename this to leg back and place this at the back of the body here. And press U on the keyboard and on both of the legs. So we get the keyframe showing. We will recolor this one from the stroke to the dark green and then click OK. And we will copy these 3 frames as it will be starting from this one. Delete and delete the first one as well. Put this all the way back and then extend this out. And those frames, paste them on this layer from here. So Ctrl V or Command V. Again, don't forget to copy the first keyframe and paste it at the end here. We have the offset, which is great. And we will add the arms. Make sure everything is deselected. Select the pen tool. Click and drag down. The same way we did for the legs. A bit shorter this time. Make sure the color is the right color for the arms. Rename the layer. Keep these in front here. And we will also parent this to the body. And move the position of it around about here. And again with the anchor point. Make sure it's parented from this point here. Let's round the corners again. So make sure it's selected the layer and call it cap. And then change the line cap from bird cap to round cap there. Next, search for the path. Keyframe that path there. And you can always shift and click. And then we can drag this point up to meet the arms. The length we want. And if you want the arms bigger, change this to 70. Do the same for the arms as we did with the legs, but always in the opposite direction of that leg. So this is his front leg, the right side of the body. The right arm will do the opposite. The first position is something like this, little bit further back. Now in the middle for the pass. And then it starts to go up. And then it's at the top. And then we can copy these keyframes going out. So this one can move here, go a bit further out, and copy this keyframe second to last. Copy the second keyframe and the last keyframe. Copy of the first keyframe. Now we have this movement. And we can tweak or delete keyframes to smooth them out as well. So it just goes as a direct one to the next movement. So if we play this, it goes all the way up and then just comes back down to a rest into the first position that we have. Now we can duplicate this arm. Ctrl D. Move this right to the back and call this arm back. Change the color to a darker one. Click OK. And then position. And we'll just move the position of these over here. press U on the keyframes, and as we did with the leg, we will just copy these 3 and then delete the first O, and then the starting position is over there. So we'll go to down and paste them on the same path and copy the first keyframe and paste it towards the end. Now the arms are the opposite as the legs. If you want to add a secondary animation, maybe on the head, you can go position here, and then as the body goes up, the head can go up a bit while holding shift. Copy this keyframe and paste it, and we can easily ease the top one. As it jumps up, so the head jumps up. As the body does there, copy these 3 and do it the same again. Here it's on the up, the head jumps up, and we can even move all of these keyframes, just offset them like 1 frame before. So there is a secondary animation going on there. Now you can drag our character into a new composition here, and then we will composition settings, change this to 10 seconds, and we can delete these markers on here. So delete all markers, right click time, enable time remapping, and then we can drag this layer to 10 seconds and hold shift. So it snaps at the 10 seconds. This will clear and it will just stop here. The last frame is blank anyway. So we will change this to 14. So 114, we will change this to. So this stays here, and then hold Alt and click the stopwatch, and then we will just type in loop and then select the loop out with the 2 brackets, and everything will loop forever. If you want to speed up the walk cycle, just drag this last keyframe here and drag it closer to the 1 second, and this will speed up the walk. Or move it further away to slow it down. I think just after 1 second, about 1 second is great. So this is the end of our walk cycle tutorial. You should have some great skills under your belt now. Cool, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know if you want to see some other After Effects tutorials, and please comment below. If you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I appreciate your time and hopefully you learned something useful today. So for that, thank you.